Good morning. I'm Terry. Welcome to TARDIS Spider. Today, Leela the Warrior Part 2. I am going to rank Leela's 9 stories, not based on the quality of the story, but on the level of violence by Leela. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, please subscribe, leave a comment, and now, Leela the Warrior Part 2. Underworld is number 9. The Time Lords have adopted a strict policy of not interfering in the affairs of other worlds, but they were not always so distant and uninvolved. It is partly what happened on the planet Minyos that led to this policy of non-intervention. The minions thought the Time Lords to be gods, which was flattering, so the Time Lords gave them medical help, better communications, and scientific aid, but rather than showing gratitude, the Time Lords were expelled at gunpoint. The Doctor and Leela encountered the last of the minions on their ship, the R1C, 100,000 years later on, and on the other side of the universe. These minions maintain that the quest is the quest, and that quest is a seemingly never-ending mission to locate another minion ship, the P7E, which carries a race bank from which the minion race can be reborn. This story ranks so low, not because of the bad CSO, but because Leela is hardly violent at all in this story. So enjoy Underworld. Number 8, The Sunmakers. The TARDIS, along with the Doctor, Leela, and K9, arrive on Pluto in the distant future, now under the control of the Usarians. The time travelers discover the planet has a breathable atmosphere and enjoys heat from 6 small suns. But the humans who live here are taxed and exploited heavily for that privilege. Leela will be captured and sentenced to death in the steamer. The Doctor must save his companion, as well as stop the ruthless company, the suppliers of the sun, before it is too late. Leela, in this story, will fight in a firefight. This is where she is captured. She will also throw her knife into the arm of an oncoming guard. Number 7, The Robots of Death. The TARDIS, carrying the Doctor and his new companion Leela, arrive aboard a huge sand miner on a deserted world. The small human crew relies almost entirely on robots to carry out their every task and whim while they mine the planet's rich minerals. Suddenly, one by one, members of the team start to disappear. The time travelers discover that someone or something is murdering the crew, but of course, nobody believes it will be the aliens. In this story, Leela will throw a knife into the chest of a robot, thinking it will die. Of course, it will not. Also, this is the last time that Louise Jameson will actually throw a knife on set, as when she throws this knife, she almost hits someone off screen with it. Number 6, The Horror of Fangrock. A Rutan scout has attacked the isolated lighthouse on the tiny island of Fangrock. It is tasked with assessing the planet and its life forms. It shrouds the island in fog to obscure these operations. It will take lighthouse keeper Ben for analysis, conducting a post-mortem on the man's body. This Rutan has been specifically trained in new metamorphosis techniques and will assume the form of second lighthouse keeper Reuben. It kills with electrical discharges from its body in order to keep its mission secrets. It signals the Rutan mothership using power from the lighthouse's generator. The Doctor and Leela will eventually destroy the Rutan with an early Shemerly rocket launcher, adapted to fire diamonds. Leela will gloat as the Rutan slinks away to die. Number 5, Image of the Fendal. A sonic scan draws the TARDIS to the Fetch Priory on Earth. There, the Doctor and Leela discover an impossibly old human skull that is the key to a nightmare from the Time Lord's past. And that nightmare is the Fendal. A Fendal is a creature consisting of a core and 12 Fendaline, which resemble giant slugs. The Fendal feeds and grows on death. It was believed to have perished in the destruction of the fifth planet, but a skull containing the Fendal's dormant energy landed on Earth, where it was discovered 12 million years later. Reactivated by the time scanner, it took over Thea Ransom as the core and proceeded to create Fendaline from the hapless humans. The Doctor destroyed the Fendaline through the use of salt and a bomb and disposed of the skull in a supernova. Leela will shoot a Fendaline from a shotgun loaded with rock salt in the hallways of the Priory. Number 4 is the Talons of Wen Chong. Death stalks the fog-bound streets of Victorian London. Young women are going missing. Horribly mutated bodies are found floating in the Thames, and criminal gangs terrorize the innocent. At the heart of this tangled web sits the mysterious Li Sen Chang, sorcerer and hypnotist, and his grotesque sidekick, the all-too-lifelike ventriloquist dummy, Mr. Sin. The Doctor dons deerstalker hat and cape to seek out the sinister forces lurking in the shadows of the metropolis, for the Talons of Wen Chong are reaching out to shred the human race. In this story, Leela will kill one of the Tong before it can kill the Doctor. She also throws her knife into the throat of Mr. Sin, though it does no damage. Number 3, the invasion of time. The Doctor is behaving very oddly. After signing a treaty with enemy aliens, he returns to his home planet Gallifrey and demands the presidency of the High Council of Time Lords. His first act of rule is to banish Leela to the wastelands on pain of death. His second is to sabotage the planet's defense barrier, enabling a full-scale invasion. Why has the Doctor joined forces with the militaristic Vardens? Is he out for revenge against the Time Lords? Or does he have a hidden agenda? But his allies are also hiding a dark secret. Far behind them is a familiar enemy, waiting for the right moment to attack. Leela will not spend long in the wastelands, for she will return and aid the Doctor when the Sontarans appear. And one of Leela's most impressive acts is when she fools a Sontaran to turn his back to her, and she throws her knife from quite a distance into his probic vent, killing him, prompting the Doctor to pronounce it quite a prodigious throw. Number 2, an invisible enemy. While answering a mayday from a refueling station on Saturn's largest moon, the TARDIS passes through a mysterious cloud that carries a space virus. The Doctor is soon infected and fighting for the control of his mind. Leela's only hope lies on a nearby medical satellite, where she seeks help from an eccentric scientist, Professor Marius, and his dog-shaped computer, K9. Together, they must defeat the nucleus of the swarm. The nucleus of the swarm, a microscopic parasitic virus feeding on intellectual activity, infected several humans before finally lodging in the brain of the Doctor. Escaping from destruction through the Doctor's tear duct, the inadvertently enlarged nucleus arrived on Titan Base to spawn, where it and its brood were blown up by the Doctor. Leela and K9 will be involved in several firefights while on the medical satellite Baal, and when she and the Doctor return to Titan Base, Leela will let the Doctor know that a knife to the neck will stop the humans that have been infected, as she has killed 3 people with her knife in this story. Number 1 is the face of evil. 2 feuding tribes, the Tesh and the Sabatine, shared a planet. Both tribes oblivious of their mutual ancestry from terrestrial colonists. The primitive and warlike Sabatine, a corruption of the words survey team, inhabited the jungle, surviving on their wits and instincts and worshipping their god Xoanin. The Tesh, Sworn enemies of the Seventeen, their ancestors had been the technicians on the Earthship, from which both feuding tribes were descended. The Tesh had remained on the ship, serving Xoanan, suppressing their emotions, and developing mind control and telepathy. Face of Evil is the first story for Leela, Warrior of the 17. It is also her most deadly. In this story, she will kill one member of the tribe of the 17 with a crossbow, and 2 with Janus thorns. She will kill 2 of the Tesh with their own rifles. This story, in which Leela has 5 confirmed on-screen kills, is her most deadly story and Leela's first story. These stories are ranked not by the quality of the story, but by the amount of violence by Leela. Leela, in 9 stories, has a body count of 12. She kills 9 humans, a Fendal, a Rutan, and a Santaran, and she leaves her knife in the throat of Mr. Sin, a robot on the sand miner, and in the arm of a guard. So Leela is definitely the most dangerous companion in the history of Doctor Who. And for a recommendation this week, watch any of Leela's stories. They are all very good. I would choose The Robots of Death, since this was my first Doctor Who story. But enjoy any of Leela's stories, and enjoy your journey through time and space. And please never forget, a child cannot have a favorite book. If they do not have one, give a child a book today.